I'm Greg Owen, motorcyclist and lawyer. I've been riding, racing, building, and collecting motorcycles for the past 40 years. During my time as a professional motocross racer in the 70s, I decided to give up my racing career and become a lawyer. I did that to help other riders who had nowhere else to turn. Over the course of my 30-year career, I've represented hundreds of injured clients and resolved their cases for more than $900 million. My goal is to tell the history of motorcycling in America, one bike and one rider at a time. All right, we're at Love Ride this weekend, and we've got a booth here with some crazy good stuff. Sean, is this all yours?
It is.
Now, before we get into the bikes, I find what you do for a living fascinating. Can you tell us?
Sure. We have a camp resort in Sturgis. We also own other rally properties. We have a little gold mine town in western Arizona, Oatman. It's a destination for the Laughlin River Run. We have gunfights and burros. You feed the burros. You've been there.
Yeah. So wait a minute. For everyone who hasn't seen it, the people around the world who haven't done the Laughlin River Run, how many motorcyclists does that attend that?
80,000 plus or minus, depending upon the year.
And am I right, most of those people go to Oatman at one point over the weekend?
Absolutely. About 20,000 a day at least.
Wow. And you own the whole town?
Most of the town, Main Street and some of the surrounding cabins and so on.
Well, that's amazing in itself. Now, you talked about Sturgis, and again, I think I just explained to you, I've never been, it's on my bucket list, and I got to do it. So tell us what your involvement is at Sturgis.
We have the largest campground. It's a little over 1,200 acres. On a good year, we have about 10,000 campers. We have 24-hour restaurants. We have laundromat, general store, indoor stages, outdoor stages. It's incredible.
So when you say, do you actually have bands playing and that whole thing?
Oh yes.
You do.
We have free concerts and pay concerts both.
There are a lot of cities that don't have half that many people.
If we were full, we would be at 25,000, which would be a pretty big city in any part of the country.
Well, that's wild. But now we're all into motorcycles, and you know, we have, being in Southern California, we get spoiled. We can ride 365 days out of the year. In other parts of the country already, or the world, they put their stuff in the garage. Can you take us through some of the bikes you have here and explain what they are?
Sure.
The first thing that caught my eye is a bike that we very seldom see in Southern California, and that's this Boss Haas. Tell us what that is.
This is a 2001 Boss Haas. It actually has a 350 Chevy motor in it, 400 horse, 2-speed forward, 1-speed reverse. We actually have 3 of them. We own 40 motorcycles. Most of them are from 1900 to 1930.
Really?
And the Boss Hosses are my personal bikes that I ride on a daily basis.
Okay. How much do they weigh?
1,200 pounds plus or minus wet. You know how much fuel you have in it?
Ever dropped one?
I have. I actually wrenched my knee trying to pick it up.
You didn't pick it up on your own, did you?
I did.
You're kidding.
And well, you know, you're angling, so
Oh.
you're not picking up all the weight.
Yeah. Well, these motorcycles are built where?
They're actually built out of the factory, American made in Tennessee. And Boss Haas has been around since about 1993 or so.
Oh, I remember, and I think I've seen some of these where people put superchargers on them and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Wild stuff.
Wild stuff.
And they don't need it.
So here's the thing. What I'm trying to find out is, for example, that Harley Davidson, the yellow one sitting over there, what year is that?
1943.
Okay. How much does that weigh, do you think?
Oh, 600 pounds max.
And this Boss Haas is 1,200 pounds?
Double.
Double it. Yeah, so I mean, what's it like to ride this thing at low speed?
Low speed, they've perfected it. The center of gravity's lower now. It's actually a pretty nice ride if you've got relatively longer legs. If you're shorter, you could be teeter-tottering back and forth. You bring it up to speed, it's like riding anything. It's not a problem. But once you get used to the speed, you're hooked on it forever. It's tough to turn back to something smaller and less powerful.
I have a feeling it has a lot of torque.
A lot of torque. Give it a little gas, it'll actually rock on you.